Welcome back to the Deep Dive Feed series, ready to dive into Episode 2. Last time, we explored Seminole Wellness Dynasport, but today, we're saddling up to explore Seminole Senior Formula, a feed made just for those golden oldies.
Oh, it's amazing how feeding senior horses has changed. Seminole Feed really gets what they need with this formula.
Yeah, and like we talked about with Dynasport, Seminole Feed's focus on good ingredients and research, it really shows here too.
You know, what's interesting is Seminole Feed's not new to this. They've been family-owned since 1934, making horse feed for almost a century.
Wow, almost 100 years.
Yeah.
And they make their feeds in a special facility right in Ocala, Florida, the horse capital of the world. That says something about their dedication.
Definitely does. Being in the heart of the horse world like that means they're not just about business. They truly understand horses and the people who care for them.
Okay, so let's talk about those needs, especially as horses get older. How does Seminole Senior Formula help them?
One of the first things you'll notice is how easy it is to chew. And it's dust-free. That's really important for senior horses who might have dental problems or be sensitive to dust. So it's about making mealtime comfortable. But there's more to it than that, right? This formula has ingredients to help those aging bodies.
Exactly. One of the key things is that it's low in starch. Older horses, they can be more sensitive to starch, and that can cause problems like insulin resistance or Cushing's disease.
I bet a lot of our listeners know about Cushing's, that hormonal problem common in older horses, so a low-starch diet can help.
Definitely. And instead of those quick-burning starches, they've added Seminole Ultra Bloom. It's a stabilized rice bran.
Okay, what's special about Ultra Bloom?
It provides energy slowly, which is perfect for keeping a healthy weight, and it avoids those sugar spikes. That could be tough on older horses.
So it's a steady energy source, not a sudden rush.
Exactly. Plus, Seminole Senior Formula has ground flaxseed and soybean oil, both full of omega-3 fatty acids. Those are so important for healthy skin, coat, and joints, all things that can be sensitive as horses get older.
Makes sense. Joints go through a lot over the years.
And omega-3s, they don't just make them look good, they also help reduce inflammation, which is key for aging joints.
Speaking of joints, I see Yucca Shitajara in the formula too.
Yes, it's great for its anti-inflammatory properties. Yucca Shitajara can really reduce pain and stiffness, so senior horses stay comfortable and active.
So it's about making those golden years the best they can be, letting them really enjoy life.
Precisely. And of course, we can't forget antioxidants. They're like little protectors fighting cell damage and helping horses live longer, healthier lives.
Antioxidants, good for us, good for them. I see they've also included yeast culture, biotin, methionine, and zinc. What do those do?
Each one has a specific job. Yeast culture helps digestion. Biotin supports healthy hooves. Methionine contributes to a shiny coat. And zinc boosts the immune system.
Wow, a holistic approach,
Yeah.
covering so many aspects of a senior horse's well-being.
Exactly. And here's another important point. Seminole Senior Formula is high in calories and nutrients. This is crucial because older horses, they might eat less or have trouble absorbing nutrients.
So even if they don't eat a lot, they still get what they need to stay healthy.
Exactly. It's all about addressing their unique needs at this age.
Okay, now let's talk about feeding this formula. There's a feeding guide, of course, but what else should owners know?
Well, one of the great things about Seminole Senior Formula is its flexibility. You can feed it with different types of hay, or even by itself if a horse can't eat long stem forage because of dental issues.
That's a good point. It sounds adaptable to different horses and what they need.
Right, and the feeding guide gives recommendations based on the hay you're feeding and the horse's class, whether they're just hanging out, performing, breeding, or something else.
That makes sense. Take some of the guesswork out for owners.
It does, but it's important to remember, you should always adjust the amount you feed based on your horse's condition. It's not one size fits all.
So you really need to watch how they're doing on the feed. What if a horse has trouble chewing?
You can actually soak Seminole Senior Formula and feed it as a mash. That makes it easier to eat.
Oh, that's good for those with dental issues. But what about fiber? If a horse can't eat hay, what are the options?
Fiber is super important for digestion, especially in older horses. If they can't eat hay, there are alternatives like soaked hay cubes or chopped hay.
Okay, good to know. And I'm guessing you always recommend a gradual change when you start a new feed, right?
Absolutely. Introduce new feeds slowly, over a week or 10 days, to avoid upsetting their stomach. That gives their system time to adjust.
Good advice.
Yeah.
Now, we're focusing on Seminole Senior Formula today, but I know Seminole Feed has a whole range of products.
They do. They have feeds for horses of all ages and activity levels, from foals to performance horses.
That's impressive.
really taking care of everyone in the horse world. And they also offer lots of resources for owners, like their blog and a feeding solutions guide, right?
Yeah, they're really helpful for learning about horse nutrition and finding solutions to feeding problems.
It shows they really care about the well-being of horses and helping owners make good decisions.
What about those endorsements from champion riders I saw?
Those are really significant. When top riders choose a feed for their horses, you know it has to be good.
It really proves how good Seminole Feed's products are, so.
To sum up this part of our deep dive, it sounds like Seminole Senior Formula is a great choice for anyone wanting to give their older horses the best care.
It is. It's easy to chew and digest. It's full of important nutrients. It supports joint health, and it helps them feel their best overall. And the company itself, they really care about horses and are committed to educating owners.
Well said. Before we go to the next part of our deep dive, let's recap what we've learned.
Okay, we've looked at the history of Seminole Feed, a family-owned company with almost 100 years of experience.
And we talked about the special challenges older horses face, like dental problems, smaller appetites, and health issues that come with age.
We highlighted how Seminole Senior Formula addresses those challenges with its carefully chosen ingredients and that easy-to-chew, dust-free formula.
We talked about why a low-starch diet is important for seniors and how Seminole Ultra Bloom gives them steady energy.
We talked about omega-3 fatty acids and how they help with healthy skin, coat, and joints. And we discussed the benefits of Yucca shitagera for inflammation.
We mentioned antioxidants and how they're important for cellular health and longevity.
And we explained how things like yeast culture, biotin, methionine, and zinc support digestion, hooves, a healthy coat, and a strong immune system.
We also talked about the importance of high calories and nutrients, making sure older horses get enough.
Right. And we discussed the flexibility of the feeding guide, how it can be adapted to different types of hay, and each horse's individual needs.
We emphasize making those transitions slowly when you introduce new feeds, and how valuable it is to talk to your vet for advice.
We also looked at the resources Seminole Feed provides, like their blog, the Feeding Solutions Guide, and the Equine Nutrition Helpline.
Stay tuned as we continue our deep dive. In the next part of this episode, we'll uncover even more about Seminole Senior Formula and the benefits it offers our amazing older horses.
As we dig deeper into Seminole Senior Formula, I think it's important to highlight how well it addresses the specific challenges senior horses often face.
You're right. Listing ingredients is one thing, but I'm curious, how do they all work together to support those aging bodies?
One area where Seminole Senior Formula really stands out is digestive health. As horses get older, their digestive systems can get less efficient, making it harder to absorb all the nutrients they need.
That makes sense. How does this formula help with that?
Well, it uses a blend of highly digestible fiber sources.
Yeah.
This keeps things moving smoothly, but it also helps those good gut bacteria, which are key for absorbing nutrients.
So it's like giving their gut a boost.
Exactly. And remember the yeast culture we talked about? That helps even more by promoting those beneficial microbes.
Sounds like they're really taking care of the digestive system.
They are, and this is so important for senior horses. When their digestion is working well, they can absorb those essential nutrients and stay healthy overall.
It all connects, right? Digestive health is the foundation.
Well, absolutely. Another important thing Seminole Senior Formula addresses is joint health. As horses age, the cartilage in their joints can wear down, leading to stiffness, discomfort, and even lameness.
Just like us humans, our joints get a little creaky as we get older.
Exactly. We can't stop aging, but we can support our senior horses' joints to help them stay comfortable and moving.
How does this formula do that?
Well, we talked about the omega-3 fatty acids. From flaxseed and soybean oil, they have natural anti-inflammatory properties, which can reduce joint pain and stiffness.
And what about the Yucca shitagera?
Oh, yes. Yucca shitagera is a powerful anti-inflammatory too. It works differently. It blocks certain enzymes that cause inflammation, providing even more relief for those achy joints.
So it's like a double attack on inflammation.
You got it. They've also included copper, zinc, and manganese. Those are essential minerals for healthy cartilage and joint function.
It seems like they thought of everything.
They put a lot of care and research into this formula, and the results are great. Horses on Seminole Senior Formula often show real improvement in how they move and how comfortable they are.
It's amazing how much nutrition can impact their quality of life.
It really is. And it's not just about those specific issues like digestion and joints. Seminole Senior Formula also provides a whole range of vitamins and minerals to support their overall health.
So it's like a multivitamin. But for older horses,
That's a great way to put it. It has vitamins like A, D, and E, important for the immune system, vision, and muscles. Plus, it has all the minerals they need.
I imagine that's really helpful.
Yeah.
For picky eaters or horses who have trouble absorbing nutrients.
Exactly. Seminole Senior Formula takes care of that by providing those nutrients in a tasty and easy to digest form.
So it's like giving them that extra support.
Exactly. And that peace of mind is invaluable for owners who want to give their older horses the best care.
Okay. We've talked a lot about the science, but what about the practical side of things? Any tips for owners feeding this to their horses?
One of the most important things to remember is that every horse is different. The feeding guide is a good starting point, but you should always adjust the amount based on your horse's needs and condition.
So it's not just about following the directions on the bag.
Right, things like their age, activity level, metabolism, even the time of year can all affect how much they need.
So you really need to pay attention to your horse.
Absolutely. And if you're ever unsure, talk to your vet. They can help you figure out the best feeding plan.
Good advice. And we mentioned it before, but it's worth repeating. Always transition gradually to any new feed, including Seminole Senior Formula.
Absolutely. Sudden changes can upset their stomach. It's best to go slow, over a week or 10 days.
That gives their gut time to adjust.
Exactly. And with Seminole Senior Formula, you have flexibility. We talked about how it can be fed with different types of hay, or even as a complete feed.
I like that versatility.
Right. And if your horse has dental problems, you can soak Seminole Senior Formula to make it easier to eat.
That's helpful for older horses
Mm-hmm.
who can't chew hay or hard feed very well.
Yeah.
What about fiber, though? If a horse can't eat hay at all, what are the options?
Even if they can't eat hay, they still need fiber in their diet for good digestion. Things like soaked hay cubes, chopped hay, beet pulp, or other fiber supplements can work.
Good to have those alternatives.
And of course, always make sure they have fresh, clean water. That's important for all horses, but especially seniors, who can get dehydrated more easily.
Those are great reminders. It sounds like feeding seniors takes a little more attention, but with some planning and care, we can help them stay healthy and happy.
Absolutely. And Seminole Senior Formula is a fantastic tool. It's high quality, research-backed, and designed specifically for their needs.
Now, I want to hear more about the company itself. We talked about their history and commitment to quality, but what else makes Seminole Feed stand out?
One thing that impresses me is their dedication to education. They go beyond just selling feed. They give horse owners the resources to make good decisions about nutrition.
Right. I saw their blog, the Feeding Solutions Guide, and even a helpline on their website.
That's right. They're committed to helping owners understand all the details of equine nutrition.
It's like they're partnering with you.
Exactly. And it's not just about the science. Seminole Feed is a family-owned company, and that feeling extends to their customers. They really care about horses and the people who love them.
That's a nice touch. You can feel that passion.
Definitely. And they're always innovating, trying to make their formulas even better based on the latest research.
So they're always striving to improve.
Yes. That makes Seminole Feed a brand owners can trust.
We saw those endorsements from champion riders on their website. What do those tell you about Seminole Feed?
When you see top riders choosing a feed, it really says something about its quality. These riders want the best for their horses.
So those endorsements are a real testament to the results.
Absolutely. And those riders aren't just talking about performance. They're talking about how Seminole Feed improves their horses' health and their overall happiness.
So it's about more than just winning.
Exactly.
As we finish this part of our deep dive into Seminole Senior Formula, what are the main takeaways? What should owners remember?
First, Seminole Senior Formula is a premium feed made specifically for senior horses. It's full of ingredients that help with digestion, joints, and overall well-being.
And it's made by a company that's passionate about horses and quality and dedicated to educating owners.
You said it. Seminole Feed is a brand you can trust.
Before we move to the final part, let's recap what we've talked about.
Okay. We discussed the challenges senior horses face, like digestion problems, joint pain, and trouble absorbing nutrients.
And we talked about how Seminole Senior Formula helps with those challenges, using ingredients like fiber, yeast culture, omega-3s, and yucca shitojera, plus all those vitamins and minerals.
We talked about making individual feeding plans and transitioning slowly to new feeds.
We highlighted how versatile Seminole Senior Formula is.
We talked about the importance of fiber.
And we explored Seminole Feed's commitment to quality, education, and customer service.
Stay tuned for the final part of this episode, where we'll talk more about caring for senior horses and answer any questions you might have.
We've covered a lot about Seminole Senior Formula, but before we wrap up, I want to kind of zoom out a bit. What else should owners think about with their senior horses?
You're right, nutrition's super important. But it's not the whole story. Senior horses, they often need different things than younger horses, like more frequent vet checkups, dental care, maybe even changes to their exercise routine.
So being more proactive as they age, really paying attention to how their needs change.
Exactly. Regular vet visits can catch health problems early. And good dental care. Make sure they can eat comfortably.
What about exercise? Should senior horses stay active, or is it better to let them rest?
Actually, movement is really important, even for older horses. It helps keep their joints healthy, and it's good for their overall well-being, of course. You have to adjust things based on their condition.
So finding that balance, keeping them active but not pushing too hard.
Right. Low-impact activities, like walking, trail riding, or even some groundwork, can help keep them limber and happy.
Makes sense. How about their environment? Anything special to consider for senior horses?
Definitely. A safe and comfortable environment is key. Softer footing in their stalls or paddocks, shelter from bad weather, easy access to food and water.
So making their space as supportive as possible.
Exactly. And don't forget about companionship. Horses are social, and seniors can really benefit from being around other horses.
Like having friends to enjoy retirement with.
Exactly. And one last thing. Never underestimate the power of love and attention. Senior horses might need a little extra care, but that bond you share, it's more special than ever.
I love that. Caring for a senior horse sounds like a big commitment, but also incredibly rewarding.
It is. It's about understanding their changing needs, taking care of their health, and giving them an environment where they can thrive.
Now, I'm sure our listeners have questions about Seminole Senior Formula and caring for their older horses. Any final advice?
My best advice is to work with your vet. They can help you figure out exactly what your horse needs and create a personalized plan.
Makes sense. Vets are the experts.
Exactly. And never be afraid to ask questions about feeding, exercise, anything. There's no such thing as a silly question.
Well said. And if you're looking for a great feed for your senior horse, I definitely recommend Seminole Senior Formula.
It's a fantastic choice. It can really make a difference in their health and happiness.
If you want to learn more about Seminole Feed, visit their website. They have tons of information, feeding guides, product details, articles on senior horse care.
And don't forget their helpline. If you need advice.
So, that's our deep dive into Seminole Senior Formula, a feed as amazing as the horses it's made for.
Taking care of senior horses, it's an honor, a chance to give back to these incredible animals.
And with the right knowledge, the right tools, and lots of love, we can help them enjoy their golden years.
And now a quick disclaimer. This deep dive was produced by Sunset Ranch. We're proud to be a Seminole feed dealer here in Norman, Oklahoma.
We hope you found this helpful. Come visit us or give us a call if you have any questions about Seminole Senior Formula or anything else you need for your horse. And a big thanks to AI for helping us put this episode together.
Until next time, happy trails, everyone.